My name is Natalie, and I'm a mind-body empowerment coach for women. About 4 years ago, I was working long hours, long days in the film industry, and my body was struggling. I was burnt out, I had gained a bunch of weight, my immune system was falling apart, and I had been dieting for years and kind of using diets and weight and the scale as a measure of my health. And didn't realize that there was other stuff happening. And I started getting interested in holistic health as a way to figure out what was going on, how to heal, why the diets weren't working, why I wasn't losing weight, why I was gaining weight. And somebody pointed me in the direction of the Institute. And what really drew me in was especially when you've been dieting for 20 years, like you kind of know what you're supposed to do. You just don't know why you're not doing it, right? Like my biggest question was, what is in my way of taking care of myself? Why is it so hard for me to stick to a diet was the question at the time. And what this training really inspired in and taught me was to really look at the how and the why of our relationship with food and body, not as much the what, like what we're supposed to or not supposed to be doing, but more from the perspective of how are we eating, why are we eating, and what is really happening in our relationships with ourselves and our bodies. My education in the Institute prepared me in the sense that it gave me permission to look at the deeper stuff. Mark takes such a soulful approach. And when I first started, I'm worlds more woo from where I was 4 years ago. I didn't realize it was my own spiritual journey that it was kind of kindling, right? And so I think what Mark did was really take it from looking out at all of the experts and what they're telling us we're supposed to do and helping us learn how to turn back into ourselves and to find our own inner guidance through our body wisdom, through being embodied and being in our power, and thinking about the mind-body-soul conversation. What is happening in our bodies is a direct reflection of what's happening in our soul, in our relationship with self. And to make that connection really gives you a pathway to explore different conversations and curiosities in terms of what's really going on for people, and to go really, really deep into that. And as somebody with a market research background, I was always known as the data detective. So I love to look at what's really happening and find the truthiest truth. And so where I would use, data from a questionnaire to understand what was happening in a movie and how a movie was playing, I now use the data of the story of my clients and what's happening in their bodies and their digestive system and their immune system and their weight. And Mark and the Institute's training really gives you a map, in a sense, of here are some places you can explore with what's really going on under the surface, what's really getting in our way of being ourselves, being our best selves, and being our fully embodied, empowered selves in this world. Yeah. I feel like there's kind of two kinds of people that come into this program, right? There's people who have existing health coaching practices or nutritionist or dietitian or something in that realm already of the health and wellness space. And in that case, I'd say it's a really powerful, vital, maybe should be mandatory program to anybody working in that kind of more masculine realm of health and wellness, of this is what you should eat, this is how you measure it, this is all of those things. But this really adds the deeper dimension as to what's really going on in the choices that people make, specifically around food and body. And then there's the realm of people who are in this journey of their own self-discovery and their own transformation of relationship with food and body, and something divinely maybe drew them into the training to find their own calling. And and it's a stepping stone into a new way of being, a new career, a new passion, and a new purpose. So I think the training I think it can offer both just deeper skills in working with humans around health and wellness, and it can really offer a whole other pathway of purpose. Yeah, for people who have struggled with the same stuff and want to help people from that space and on that journey. For people coming in and not sure if they're like ready to be a coach, or if they can do it, or if they're not enough on the other side of the stuff that they've been working on, you know, I'm constantly repeating what Mark says around, you know, you only have to be a few steps ahead of your clients to be able to help them, and it's a practice. And so if there's a part, you know, a hesitation to doing this training because they feel like they're not ready, or they're a fraud, or they haven't worked through enough of this stuff on their own, if there is that intuitive calling to explore it, that, you know, to listen to that and follow it and trust that you'll figure it out. Like, even if it takes 4 years, 5 years, 10 years to get this established in a certain way. I mean, I think there's so much pressure on new coaches to come out of the gate with 6-figure incomes and doing 5, 10K months, but allowing the journey to work you and not have to like force it to happen, and trusting that the confidence will come as you practice and as you work it and as you explore it. And the training may not be something you even use. You know, everybody does it in so many different ways, and you can incorporate it into your life in so many different ways. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that, you know, you will be just an eating psychology coach and that's it. It sets off a whole path of inquiry in your own life and in how you relate with the world that I think can just, if you allow that to emerge, you know, and inform your own path, then the clarity will come about, and the confidence will come in how you incorporate that into your life and into your career.